Are you going through a relationship breakup? Are you experiencing heartache and you just can't get over it? You don't know what to do, you're struggling, it hurts, then this video is just for you. Relationships and grief are something that have affected all of us at one point in our life, be that our romantic relationships, or somebody passing away, or a friendship that's broken down. Today, more specifically, I want to focus on a romantic relationship breaking down. So if you like this video and you want to subscribe to my channel, then please do so and you'll be notified of more content. Do not underestimate the emotional impact that going through a relationship breakdown can have on you. Whether it was your choice or not, we generally go through 5 stages according to Mental Health Matters, and that is denial, anger, grief, depression, bargaining and acceptance. And they may not happen in that order, and you may oscillate between them before you finally come to accept that the relationship has ended and you're able to move forward. You will get over it, and I and everyone else in the world are proof that you will get over it, because we've all had to get through relationship breakdowns of some description. Your track record for getting through the worst times of your life is 100%, and that is an amazing track record. So what can you do to help you through that process? Be kind to yourself, grieve, cry, and talk till you're sick of talking about it. But don't put a tent up and stay in that grief so that you get caught up in complex grief. At some point, it's good when you feel like you've spoken about it, to actually be mindful not to talk about it, even if it's just for an hour when you go out. Give your mind that break so that it's not something you're constantly rehashing and regurgitating, because you'll just keep going through all of that trauma otherwise. Even if you don't feel like going out, if somebody invites you out, go. You may be surprised. It will give your mind a break, and even if it's only for a short time. Another thing that is massively helpful is journaling, writing. Just write it down. Write a letter to the person that you broke up with, or they broke up with you. Don't hold back, no holds barred. Get everything down on paper, how you feel, what they did, what you did. Just write them a big, long letter. Don't send it, do not send it. The point is for you to get it out of your mind. Do what you want after it, rip it up, burn it, whatever, don't send it. The whole point is for you to journal about your feelings, and getting them out of your head and onto paper is such a therapeutic exercise. I've got a good video about journaling that I will put in the description so that you can have a look at that if you want to learn how to journal and what the best process is. So do it every day, 5 times a day, 10 times a day. The minute the grief starts welling up, of course, cry, let your emotions out. Crying is an emotion that we've been given, and as much as we hate it at the time, afterwards you will feel a lot better. So do it with a friend in private, and then write down all of your feelings. Just to, that relief may last a day, 2 days, and then you might have to write more, but just write down as much as you can, get it all out of your head. Definitely 100% seek families and friends and a therapist if necessary. It's so good to talk with somebody who knows you well, that you can trust, and a professional. I'm not a qualified therapist. I don't have any qualifications, but I do have experience, and that's what I'm talking from. The next point you may not like, but at some point you're going to have to make some distance between you and your ex. Do not follow them on social media. Do not sit looking at what they're up to, because you need to be focusing on you, not what they're doing, and that is not going to help you get over it. So even if you don't feel like you can block them, just unfollow them or mute them so that you can't see what's coming through. They won't know you've done that. Just mute them. if you've got children, it can be very difficult to have to block your ex, but if you don't have children and you're able to, blocking is by far the easiest way. Who cares what they think? Who cares what anyone thinks? As long as you give yourself space and time to get over it, that's the most important thing here. And actually, we go through this bargaining phase at first sometimes when we've broke up with a partner, and we try texting them, calling them, persuading them. None of that works. If somebody's interested, they'll come forward and make themselves known. So actually, if you give yourself that space, that may even show them some respect in their eyes, that oh, okay, this isn't what they normally do. What's going on here? And it may cause them to reach out to you. We're not trying to do it to play a game here, but sometimes, just sometimes, it's like that butterfly in the garden. If you start running around after a butterfly, you'll never catch it. When you stand still, it lands on you. 50% of relationships that break up do end up getting back together and sorting themselves out. I'm not saying that that is right or it's right for you, but there is a chance that there could be some reconciliation. But there does initially have to be that period of space so you can both lick your wounds, work out what's happened, what's been said, and then take it from there. But let's assume you're not going to get back together. Then putting that space between you and them is definitely going to help you. It's not nice not hearing from them, but it's better than hearing from them and them not wanting you. So definitely put that space between you and them. To be honest with you as well, even if you block them, and this has happened to me, they can contact you from another phone if they really want to. And so don't worry about the fact that they can't get hold of you. If they want to, they can. They know, presumably they know where you live and they can use a different phone. So don't worry about that. As I said, if you've got children and shared custody of children, that's much more difficult. But give yourself those breathing spaces. Go for a walk, go out into the country, do what you need to do for a few hours, switch your phone off and just give yourself that mental downtime. And following their social media, you don't need to know what they're up to. It's not helpful. It's not helpful. I just try and avoid unnecessary contact. We're all, somebody being strong and giving that space is actually quite an attractive thing. We are attracted to strong people, not weak people. So it's definitely not gonna do you any harm. Get moving, do something, join a gym, go for a walk if you can, go running, swimming, take up an activity that you've never been able to do before, that you've always wanted to do. Try and burn some of that stress off. It's a great way to meet new people and like-minded people and burn off a bit of steam. Do all the things that you couldn't do before. Go and take that course, learn a new language, take up an art class, writing, painting, take up a cookery class and baking. They're all brilliant ways of relieving stress. And I will put a link to a couple of cookery classes I've done with my Indian friend from Nish's Dishes. And they're great ways to learn how to do some baking, do some cooking, and just relieve yourself of that mental chatter that's going on all the time. I will also put a link in the in the description of forest bathing that I've talked about before, and how going into the woods is really helpful for you and your mental health. If you've got a faith, pray, meditate, lean into God, whatever your belief is. This can be extremely healing. If you have a church you go to, find the support of the people in the church that have gone through this before, and it can be your place of worship can be an incredible support system for you. Don't force yourself into thinking that you've got to get over this. I don't think we ever truly get over somebody that's been part of our world, that's intricately entwined into the fabric of our being. How can you get over that? But we learn to walk through the situation. If I could use this as an analogy, so this is your grief here, And then this circle here is you, so your grief never changes, it stays the same, but you grow and you move further away from that grief. So you've just got to learn to walk through it rather than the pressure of when am I going to get over this, how long is it going to take. I don't think there's a set amount of time for anybody to get over anything, so don't let anybody pressure you. Research has shown us that 11 to 12 weeks we start to feel a lot better than we did in the first 1, 2, 3 weeks. So the 3 months can be a hurdle that you get over, but it can take many months after that or years to truly feel like we're completely separated from it. So as I said, your grief doesn't change, but you do. You grow around your grief and you put distance between you and your grief. So hopefully that explanation, that really helped me when I was going through something similar. And then one day you wake up and you think, oh, okay, I haven't thought about my ex for this amount of time. And then days will go by and you may not believe that now. You may think that you're never going to walk through this and come to a place where you accept it, but you will, I promise you. With the right support group around you, it will be something that happens naturally. You don't have to put a time scale on it. And eventually embrace your new beginnings. So set yourself some new goals and challenges. Take a mental health day off of work, time off of work if you need to, go to the doctors. But eventually when you go back to work and you set yourself some new challenges and goals, that will keep you going and distract you. I'm going to do another video before the end of this year on setting ourselves up for 2024 and creating those goals and challenges to set ourselves ready so that we're there ready to go on January the 1st. Book yourself a holiday. If you've been wanting to go on a holiday and you haven't been able to because of your partner and you've got a friend you can go with, book yourself on your holiday. Start working for yourself. Leave your job if that's what you want to do. If you can start something up on the side and get it to a point where you can go part-time and leave eventually, do it. Don't let take the leap of faith and don't let bitterness eat you up. If you haven't got the right group around you, I'm also going to put a link to my community, finding your community and your tribe video, and that will help you find the right group around you. A group of people that you don't have to change to conform to, a group of people that accept you for who you are. Remember, be patient with yourself. This is a difficult time. It's painful, it hurts, it like rips the heart out of you, and your heart may feel like it's in pieces, but you will heal. Once you come out of the storm, you won't be the same. That's the whole point of going into it. You will come out stronger. I promise you, trust me. Be clear on what you will and won't accept and set boundaries for moving forward with your friendships and your next relationship. It may be that you don't want to go into a new relationship for quite some time, and I don't recommend personally jumping into something new because you just take all the grief and problems from this one into the next one. It's really good to give yourself a year, can be a good amount of time, if not more, to find out who you are again, what makes you tick, what makes you happy. You're not doing something for the sake to please somebody else. Give yourself that time, and when you meet the new person, be clear on what you will and won't accept and what your boundaries are. So we have looked at being kind to yourself. We've looked at writing it all down and journaling it, gathering your tribe around you, your support group, your system, moving, exercise, getting therapy and going to the doctors if you need to, having a faith, and research shows that if you've got a faith, it adds 7 years to your life. So great, have a faith. Talk until you're sick of talking and you just don't want to talk about it anymore. Embrace doing something different and accept invitations from people even if you don't want to do it. Okay, the first few days, the first few weeks, you don't want to wash your hair and get ready and go out. I get that. But eventually, even when you don't feel like it, accept the invitation. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know what's going to happen. And you may enjoy it far more than you thought you did. And actually, it's better than sitting at home eating ice cream. So accept the invitations even if you don't want to do it. If you don't have anyone else to talk to about this, tell me all about your situation in the comments. I'll come back and look forward to reading them all. You can talk here. This channel is for you. I care about you and getting you over this and through this. Tell me what you want to hear about next, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.